I would think. Or maybe you gave up again, I don't know. How do I stay with red flag? I mean, how do I get it? It's a 5-minute thing that comes with the book. There's a book that tells you how to do it. What is red flag? It's a service that I pay for. Because the challenge I've had since I've been here, I can't communicate with you. I don't have your emails right. I wish I did. Someday, maybe we'll have an email syncing that we know who each other is and can talk to each other. But red flag allows you to configure either an email blast, email broadcast to yourself, a cell phone message broadcast, and what I'm going to use that for is telling you what's going on. One, so you don't have to call me. But I'm not just going to say I'm having a problem. I'm going to tell you what the problem is and what the resolution time frame is. So we keep you communicated with. So when your customer's pissed off, you'll have notification instead of looking at the bulletin board. Now, I'm not saying the bulletin board is not good. It ain't. This is new technology. We should be able to tell you immediately, system's down. Here's when it's going to come back up. Or this is not working. Here's what I'm doing to fix it. That's what I've been doing for the last 8-9 days for those on ASCUS. You've been seeing a lot of emails from me, but not really. Where's Stefan? There he is. It's really because Stefan. I sort of just tell him technicalese, and he puts it in English for everybody. Because if I do it, you'll say, what the heck did he say? Now, I'm going to quickly, I'm not going to touch the last part, but I'm going to ask questions. Really good. And then the last bullet leads into the people that I bring up. And they're going to come up and go through a demo with you. So that, I mean, I came in with a short presentation because your time is limited, and what's more important to you is the breakout sessions today. And before I get to the questions, I want to thank this group. This is one of the best groups that I talk to, and I talk to the alphabet groups. And if you don't know who they are, there's a lot. And but you're the best because you guys touch the stuff every day. The business finance officer's probably in your face. Now the superintendent sends you an email. Why's my budget not looking good? Okay. So, if any of the questions, I'm going to defer some questions. So if anybody wants to ask a question about current year funding, that will be for Lyle. My job is to support what this department does. Technically, I can do it, but that's not up, I mean, and the law says I have to, but I'll let him deal with the stuff that affect you in current year funding, but we'll see what happens as we move forward in the calendar. So if there's any current year funding, please defer that to somebody that can better qualify and answer than me, because that's more in the political realm than it is an IT realm. My job is just to make it happen. That doesn't mean it makes it easy for you. And it's more above you guys even. It's really about bonds and people. It's a lot of deal. So I do understand it. I've sat in front of the districts, and I really do understand your passion. But I can't talk about it, because I would not have the right answers. So, anybody on the floor have any questions? We have a second mic, and I want everybody to hear it, because you got a pretty full audience here. And so, I'll pass the mic to you. And I'll pass this mic to you, because it's hot.
I was going to say, I don't even need this. 72 reports. Pulling them, we usually pull them by school, but when you pull them by school, it's pulling up the whole district. Is that going to be fixed? We use that for our SACE comparison tool.
Okay, so Randall, you're going to talk about that in the reporting section. Yeah, answer that, okay? Because then, if I answer that, you're going to see how stupid I am. You know, I live in the rarefied air of 60,000 feet, except when I dive in. And I'm not going to unless it's necessary. But yes, if it was, is 72 is
71.
Is that the old report?
What it is when we are transferring data from ASCUS to SACE, we have the option of...
Yeah, you're going to speak to the mic.
So when we decided to transfer data from ASCUS to SACE, one of the issues we were trying to deal with was the volume of data. So we grouped all the data by the district, and then we submitted it by the district that way. That's why some of the issues are being seen at the district instead of the individual schools, because what we found then is you were submitting at the school level, and since we're submitting on your behalf, we're submitting at the district level. And I just found that out this week.
We designed it, but I didn't realize it was a problem until this week.
So what we need to do is really sit down and understand the problem it causes and address the problem, which we'll do. But understand that ASCUS is not a batch system. ASCUS is a transaction system. We have to do the magic of creating the transactions to SACE, the 16 transactions that you used to send. We do that. And that's because that's how SACE eats it. SACE does not eat transactions, it eats batch load. So that's one of the challenges as we do this migration. So we'll look at that. But that's important. Any other questions? Man, you guys are going to make me make this. Okay, there she goes. I wanted to just, I'm rocking out the door. Right out my aisle, I'm gone.
Okay, I'm not sure where my question fits.
That's all right.
But it's about test labels. It's about the fact that I believe if I'm reading things correctly, I mean, I've been around for a long time, so I've uploaded test labels lots of different ways. But the last few years, it was pulled by what was in SACE. What I'm understanding this year is if our ADE Connect isn't correct, which can't go unless it's 100%, then our test label stuff will be stopped or not happen correctly because you're not going to pull just from SACE this year. You want both to make it happen, if I'm understanding it correctly.
I think, Chris, are you talking about, instead of ADE Connect, you're talking about STC? Yeah.
So,
That's why I forget.
how are you all? STC. So there's, you all got that? I know it took forever, and I apologize from the bottom of my heart. I had to work with a lot of business units at ADE to get the catalog updated. But you have the new catalog, correct, with the EOCs and the Part 2s, right?
Yeah.
So the Part 2s are what are going to be uploaded into Tide for your kiddos. So any student that is, even if they're, I guess 4th grade, taking an EOC course, that will be reflected in STC. So they'll have the 3 pulls. I apologize, I don't know the dates by my head, but they'll pull those and they'll do the upload for you on your behalf. Then your test coordinator will go in, and between you and your test coordinator, test coordinator, you should work together to make sure that you have all of the correct courses assigned. Now for your little kids, the ones that are taking just the grade level tests, not the EOCs, but the grade levels, those will be pulled from SACE. Now I'm not for sure exactly, I will get back to you. I don't know the SACE to the AZs and all that, because that's a whole, okay, so it's no touching of AZ. So it'll pull from SACE.
Okay, but I think I'm hearing that if your STC isn't correct, like I have 33 errors right now,
Yes, ma'am.
and I can't upload. I had down to 1, but because of whatever problems, I couldn't upload, so I had to redo something, and that gave me 350. Now I'm down to 66. Point being, if I can't get to 0, then my STC doesn't go, so what happens to those tides if you or?
Beautiful question, Chris, yeah. We only want certified data, right? You only want data that you have endorsed and put the flag on that, yep, this is all correct. So Tide will only pull from your certified bucket. Now, if for some reason you're not certified by the time they do those 3 pulls, then your assessment coordinator will need to upload, and there's directions on AZ Merit on how to upload a file, if you will, manually.
Yeah.
Does that help? Okay.
Thank you for that. That's a very good question. So the AZ Merit team saved you a lot of work last year, whether or not you knew it, because we had the best year in the history of testing of match of students. Best year. So whatever you did in STC, whatever you did, is the best year of match. We're in the 90th percentile of match, which that helps statistically if you're doing any data. And since we're on AZ Merit, I want to also emphasize, so our AZ Merit results were published on time on azreportcards.com and to your districts through the AIR portal. AZ-, because I have limited money, will be updated by the end of March, early April with this year's AZ Merit, because I had to rewrite it. I had to rewrite those dashboards. I know, but it doesn't do you any good anyway now, you know what the kids are doing. It will help you next school year because we will load AZ Merit early, like we did Ames before, you know, in early May, late May, early June, so that you'll have 2 years of data to look at by that time. But you'll be able to check what AZ- looks like from AZ Merit's perspective for teachers by next March. But the results from the aggregated, knowing how your schools did versus others, is on AZ reportcards.com. Any other questions? Yes, sir. I'm going to go down one way and come back the other.
We have noticed at our district, and I'm not sure if anybody else has or not, that we will see kids on a 71-1 report out there, and they won't be on SACE Online. And was wondering why that was happening, or if you even knew that it was occurring. But we will see them on a 71-1 report, but we go to SACE Online and look them up either by their SACE ID or their student number, and it doesn't find them on SACE Online. So then
Are you on ASCUS?
No, we're strictly on SACE.
What is the 71-1 report?
That shows the student membership, if the membership is up there on the student. And so on a few students, it would say like that there was no membership there. So we would clear our snapshot file and let it send up again, and then we're getting errors back saying that the information's already there. But we weren't seeing it on SACE Online, but we'll see it on the 71-1 report.
So we need, have you opened up a ticket?
No.
Please do.
Okay.
Since you know, back to the question I had, the statement I had earlier. When you open a ticket, tell us the kind of kid that's not there and the kid that is. That helps us understand what happened. And it could be, was this working last year? Okay, then something changed.
Yeah, something. And it's not on all kids. You know, some kids.
Well, I don't, there's something that's not showing up. But that's why I asked if you're on AZEDs, because I don't think I touched SACE. I'm wondering if it's a limit. I wonder if something to limiting. I mean, we've touched a few things on SACE, and whenever you touch SACE, it's really frickin' magic. Because you don't know what goes downstream. So we'll look at that. Thank you. Yes, sir.
Is there documentation right now that shows the different reports? I know you've done some of that, but how it transfers from what we got in common login over to what's going to be through the AZF? And another question is for ADE Connect. I get a lot of people calling me saying they want to be able to do this. Well, I don't find anything that shows me here's all the different roles and what they do. And so I'll ask people, what do you need to do? It's just hard to figure out what I should give them through ADE Connect.
Okay, we did publish, Mia, did we do it? That's why you're here, so I can ask you questions. Did we have published ADE Connect instructions, right? Okay, so this is important, Lisa, to take note of that, so that we have that. Now they're going to talk about reports as soon as I get off. So the questions you have, that if they don't address, that would be the time. So my vision, before I'm going to turn it over to them in a while, if I come back up this way, is that does anybody use TurboTax in here? All right, I do. It's pretty easy to use. You have two methods to do it. One, you guide it, until you're super smart and you try to open up the federal forms, and then you find out you're not so super smart, then you go back to the guided mode. Okay, so we're trying to build a guided mode for reporting for ASCUS. Do you think on our first try we're going to get it perfect? Good, just setting the expectation. Just setting the expectation. You got to have a lofty goal, but if you don't have that, that's what our goal is because I understand that a lot of you turn over, change, get better jobs, and do on. We got to make it easier so that you can do your job, and that's my instructions to Randall, which he'll be talking about when he gets his opportunity. Any other questions on this side? Over to this side. Okay. They're going to kick me off in about a couple minutes.
I was just wondering about, I'm noticing that the uploads to SACE seem to be taking a lot longer than we had previously. I submitted one yesterday morning, and by the end of the school day, it was still waiting to be processed.
Okay, good. Yes, it's slow. Remember my superhighway running into the garage? It gets stuck in the garage. I am going to publish on, did you go to production today? So today, I think I have a picture, right? Well, you're going to go into the detail. I'm just going to show you the picture. Next one. Maybe not. I don't have a picture. But in the next section, if we can pop it up, that'd be cool. We're going to publish on the website, and I'll tell you the address once we make sure it works. Real-time SACE Queue Manager. I don't know why we never did that before, but SACE Queue Manager is written in Windows 2000, and this is slow. And so this is what we're going to show you. Okay, this doesn't make it faster, but it lets you know that your record's there, or your file's there. And it says on the top whether it's processing, and it's queued, right? So you can see it there. Sometimes it's as much as 8 hours, sometimes it's as much as 20 minutes. It depends on what's in the queue. We're doing something to speed up ASCUS, but we don't know if it works yet. And did we get a test on it yesterday and see any percentage increase, roughly? So we're going to, ASCUS will speed up about 15% based on, and I'm going to get real technical for a second, changing XML to CSV. SACE likes CSV, does not like XML. So we're doing that. But it's going to be slow, and this will hopefully help you know where you are in the queue. We still run integrity twice a week, and so what I recommend for charters is get in early, because your payment's based on this. So make sure your uploads are early. You got 6 months more of slow. Your transactions processing in through ASCUS are flying. Our preliminary test on integrity, it ain't days. And I'm not going to give you timing yet, because then you'll hold me. And then they'll kill me. Because I'll make something like, we run integrity in 13 seconds. 5 million records. No. But aggregation is also not going to be days. Aggregations is a matter of hours. So every day we'll run integrity and aggregation. That'll be next year. So those are big changes, right? We got to get through this next 6 months. Okay, I'll take 2 more questions. This side has more questions, so you get to ask more questions when these guys get up. But I want to leave you at the time. Yes, ma'am.
When we transition to ASCUS and we do our first full upload, how is that data moved into SACE? Does it overwrite SACE? Do just the changes move to SACE?
I need Randall. You're gonna have to. I don't want to screw this up. That's a good technical question.
So the big question is,
how the upload is doing. If you're uploading all
So
your...
this is Mesa next week.
Okay.
Yes, and our changes are bigger than some districts, so this is huge.
Right. So if you're uploading everything, so all your records have changed and have uploaded into AZEDS, we'll pick that up and then we will send that to SACE.
It will be really slow for the first upload.
Yes.
Okay, so when we transition, we do a full upload to AZEDS,
So then that would override SACE.
overwrite completely. Okay.
So let me talk about, there's another challenge with why this is slow. And I'm gonna challenge it. I can't tell districts on why AZEDS is slow. Not SACE. SACE is the same speed as it was forever. AZEDS, if your district every day submits a complete upload of all your students, I have districts doing that. Every day. I can't tell you not to do that, because you know that's your choice. But I highly recommend that you work with your vendor only to do changes. Only changes. We don't need to have your whole system if you didn't change the system. Remember, my system and the new system reflects your system. Right? So whatever you do on your system gets uploaded. And that changes our system. But our system is not the system of record. Yours is. And I know this, and I'm going to talk about one more thing that makes it complicated. When you move to AZEDS, SACE Online goes away. Why? Because if you change SACE Online, it won't reflect in AZEDS. So that is the thing that there is fringe cases. We think less than 300 students in the state. And we have 1.5 million students. So we're talking real fringe. That we have to work on a solution to make sure that we get those taken care of. And I appreciate your time this week to point out those. We're working on it.
Thank you.
And we're going to solve those fringe cases. But you cannot, because remember what I've always talked about. When you change SACE Online and don't change your SIS, what happens? My system doesn't match you, because you forgot. That ain't happening anymore. Your system is my system. If they audit you, it will be taking all the transactions from my system and matching your system's transaction. Because I paid you. So that, just so that's clear. But that was a good question, thank you. If you guys could get the vendors to not submit every record. And I know that you're in the beginning, you're saying, God, I did this with SACE, I have to do it. I just got to submit every transaction. No, you don't. It works faster. But I've told my team I want 5 million records a day at speed. 5 million means all of you get to do it 4 times a day. I hope you don't. Because there will be smoke in the cloud.
How do we know when our district is going to move into a disease?
Good question. Your district gets to either be told by, isn't this year? I'm surprised. Is he? Either they're told, this is your window, after your vendor is certified. What vendor do you have? Okay, Power School. So they're by far out there ahead of everybody. So if you want to go faster, and Nish is always looking for volunteers too. But it's coming. Yes, ma'am. That's so much.
My question for those folks that have made the transition after your 40th aggregation. I said I'm old school. I'm worried about doing this before we reach our 100th day. We're scheduled in February before our 100th day. For those people that made the transition after their 40th day aggregation, did you see any differences in your finance side, your 40-day numbers, prior to or after? Because my school is like, we can't do this till after 100.
So what I'd like you to do is take that question into the groups this afternoon. Because that way you can answer it specifically, because there'll be people in that which vendor are you with? So in your EduPoint group, there'll be people there, hopefully, that has done this, and you can ask that question to people with EduPoint. I don't want to have this as these are the kinds of things that we want to pick up in those groups, so that you can get the sense of calm. I'm hoping the answer is yes, but that's the kind of thing, and that's why I like this group. You talk to each other. Just make sure I know about the problems before they become like the whole state. But I appreciate you talking to each other. Okay, I have to move on. I thank this team, and I hope you have the best holidays, and I hope all of us have a great new year. I won't say that my team won't be working a lot of overtime, because we have a big year. And if they throw current year funding on us, ooh, we got a bigger year. But we've got to be able to do this for you to pay, so that you get the money so that you can take care of the kids. And I promise you that I'll stay on it. And as anybody knows that's talked to me, we solve it. Maybe not as fast as you want it, because I don't have the wand. I'm still looking for the magic wand, because I would give it to Randall, because he probably wishes he had a magic wand, because he spends more of his life trying to figure out when I'm coming. And if he sees me coming, hiding. The other day I saw him under his desk. He said he didn't move fast enough. Thank you.
I believe we're going to talk now on reports. Just give us a second to get set up. When I found out Mark and I were sharing an hour to cover all this information, I thought, okay, I guess I had 5 minutes. And we have a lot of stuff to talk about, so I'm going to keep it just specific to reports. And I'm going to talk about 2 things. One, I want to talk about our approach that we're going to take, and I'm going to hand it over to Keith to show you our mock-ups, what it's going to look like. So first off, we looked, last time we met, I think we said we didn't have the mock-ups, and we were figuring this out. So I'm going to share with you our approach that we're going to take. We're going to take a 2-step approach. First, we're going to get something out there as quickly as we can. And it's not going to look pretty, but it's going to have summary counts in your data. We'll circle back, and then we'll actually start to make it look pretty and fill it out. So when Mark talked about Quicken, TurboTax, that's going to be more in that second phase, but we'll walk you through kind of what the end state looks like so that you can kind of see the framework. And then as we create things that's ready to go, we're going to send it to you one screen at a time. We're not going to wait and say, here's all the screens. We're going to say, this screen's ready, here it is. So, we also took a look at everybody that's going to be using the reports, and we did realize it's much larger than we thought. So certain reports or certain dashboards that we'll talk about are for certain people. And then if we're missing something, let us know. And when we circle back in phase 2, we'll be able to include that in and make sure we capture everything. So what I really wanted to do was spend